Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bunny. I'm back again. I hope the Bunny Gang has been enjoying the videos that I've been posting out. I hope new members want to join the Bunny Gang. And pretty much, I'm just gonna get straight into this video. This video is literally based off a tweet that I have read when I was like reading like funny tweets, whether it was like dumb tweets that people happen to post up or just said something funny. So it was this one tweet that like really caught my eye that had me dying when, I read it. So it says, me walking. Hit me, bitch. Me driving. I'll hit you, bitch. So the reason why that had me dying was because I was legitimately thinking about, like, when you're walking, you are a little bit like, fuck this shit. Like, if you hit me, I'm getting a lawsuit. Now, I'm not going to say everybody. Some people are actually, like, they actually pay attention to, like, where they're going. And they're not trying to get hit. But you also have that mindset, too. Like, anybody that says they don't, they're lying. Like, anybody that's walking to cross the street, you kind of have that mindset, like, go ahead, bitch. Fucking hit me. And if you hit me, I'm suing the shit out of you. Oh, you're driving a Land Rover too? Bitch, I know you got money now. You know what I mean? Like that type of mindset, like back in the back of your mind. Now, the I'll hit you, bitch, I completely can relate to that. The whole walking and crossing the street and like begging somebody to hit you. Not entirely, but I can say a lot of people have that mindset because a lot of people are hoping that they get some lawsuit money and that they could sue somebody for running them over. So I don't entirely like have that thought process, but the I'll hit you, bitch, I could relate to that. And I'm about to explain why I could relate to that. The reason why I could relate to the I'll hit you, bitch, is because there's been so many times when I've physically been in my car, like driving. Oh my god, it's so hot. Oh, or I physically been driving in my car and someone will just walk in front of the car, and mind you, I'll have the right of way. So what I find very funny and very interesting is even if I run you over, because I have every legitimate reason to run you over because you got in my way, and I'm driving a car that can physically hurt you and cause you to go to the hospital. I love how if I run you over, I would still probably end up in jail for attempted manslaughter, but yet you probably won't get in nearly as much trouble, if you get in trouble at all, for being the pedestrian that just walked in front of a car. And that blows my mind. I feel like there should be a law that's passed that's like, look, I get it, a car isn't supposed to just run people over and stuff like that, but there should be a law that's like, hey, you walk in front of a car and they got the right of way and you think you can make it, but you're not walking like you're somebody that's really trying to cross the street to make it, and you get run over, that's your fault. You deserve to die. There should be a law like that. I completely think that the government should consider this. I feel like it would make a lot of sense because a lot of people do this. Like, especially, you'll see people walking in front of cars, like, especially, like, in the hood. Like, they'll just like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, you hit me? I don't care, bro. Go ahead. Hit me. And it's like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean, like, just hit you? And, like, you could feel it off of them, though. Like, you could feel them, like, in their mind, like, they're saying that. They're just like, go ahead, hit me, bitch. Hit me. I want you to. I want to feel this car on my body. Go ahead. Like, it's like almost like you're playing with a bull and you got the red towel and you're like tempting the bull, like, come on, come on, hit me. Like, that's how I feel like when you go in the hood and you just see someone walk in front of a car, or they walk in between the left side and the right side of the road while cars are going up and down, and not even thinking about the fact that What if the car has to swerve out the way and you're in the middle of that shit and you get hit? Is that the person's fault too? Like, bitch, no. Like, why are you in the middle of the road? Like, I feel like there's just some laws that should just be like refined and changed that are like that don't make any sense when it comes to certain things. Like, logically, you would think if you get hit by a car, but it's your fault why you got hit by the car because you weren't being precautious, and you die or get hurt or whatever, that's your fault. That's not the driver's fault. Because for all you know, maybe the driver was going too fast and physically could not stop in enough time so they could prevent themselves from hitting you. Because I don't know about you, but I love my car. That's one of the main reasons why I haven't run someone over yet, because I value my car more than I value that person's life crossing the street. Because I could give two shits about the person crossing the street. I'm like, you know what? If you die getting hit by a car, good for you. You're not doing it with my car. Hopefully you do that with someone else's car. Like, I value my car way more than I actually value the actual person that's crossing the street. And some people might think, oh, it's a little crazy, so that's the only reason that's stopping you from running them over. Well, yeah, because I like my car. My car actually looks fairly nice. Why do I want to mess up my car because someone wants to be a jackass and just, hey, you gonna run me over? Like, no. But I do feel like stuff like that happens way more in the hood, where you're more inclined to want to run someone over as opposed to like a rich white area, or not even a rich white area, just like a predominantly white area. You don't really see people like that because, you know, in a white town, I hate to say this, but it's very true. I'm not trying to sound racist, but it is kind of true. Like, in a white town, you'll see someone cross the street. You'll have those couple of dumbass jackasses that want to, like, go across the street, and they got that pedestrian crosswalk, and they're just like, oh my god, they're not gonna hit me because, like, I'm in a white town, and, like, people like that don't do that here. Like, we don't drive crazy. We only get to drive like 35 miles an hour and have like 500 lights. Like, no. Like, my thing is, I don't care what town you live in. I don't care if you live in the hood, you can live in a predominantly white area. You still have to look both ways. Just because there's a pedestrian crosswalk does not give you the right to just be like, you know what? Forget you. I don't care you have a car. If you hit me, it's still your fault. What? You didn't even look to see who was coming down the road to see how fast someone was going. One time that happened, there was like a pedestrian crosswalk to this college. And I was like leaving from the college that I was going to at the time. And like legitimately, it was like some white chicks just like crossing the street. And the dude, and like at the time, this is like when I had my Jeep. And the dude in front of me was going like at a consistent speed, like, you know, not too crazy, because the area that, you know, I was driving in is like one of those areas that if a cop see you driving crazy, you getting a ticket. Like, you could try to talk your way out of it, but they gonna give you a ticket. And he legitimately, like, he could have went. Like, that's how fast he was going. Like, for him to hit his brakes, he had to hit it hard. So he, instead of him just going and just being like, well, you know what, forget these chicks, he literally slammed on the brakes, totally forgetting the fact that I was fucking behind him. I was going almost the same speed he was, you know, because I'm trying to get where I'm going. I think I had to go to work after. I had to fucking slam my brakes just so I wouldn't ram into his ass because his car was in front of mine. And we both had trucks. He had a fucking pickup truck and I had my fucking Jeep. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding? So I was sitting in my car and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who the fuck does this shit? And I'm looking at the chicks, and it's not like, what really pissed me off wasn't the fact that the dude was being nice, because it was like an older dude in this pickup truck. So usually like older men or just like old people in general, they're like really nice when it comes to stuff like that. They're like, no, go ahead, like, go, you got this, go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just super nice about it. But like, what pissed me off wasn't the fact, not so much just the fact that he did that and it wasn't like eased into, as far as like hitting the brakes, was the fact that these chicks weren't even like walking like they had pep in their step. Like they were just like, I'm entitled to this. Like, this is the life I live. Like, what? No. Like, walk a little bit faster. Like, walk like you got somewhere to be. Like, that pissed me off. Like, that made me, like, really mad. The fact that the dude took the time to make sure he didn't run you over because you chose to cross the crosswalk for pedestrians without looking both ways. And you're gonna, like, practically jaywalk across to your college. Like, what? Get out the way. Like, that made me really mad. Like, it was kind of like, I was just like, oh my god, like, why? Like, how? And, you know, they always say, supposedly, that you get a ticket for jaywalking. I believe it when I see it. I have yet to see a cop, I mean, maybe in a white area where cops have nothing to do but write tickets. Because we all know this. I mean, I'm not trying to sound racist, but even the Spanish cops act white when they work in a white town. Like, when you're in a white town or a town that just has nothing going on and it's a mad, like, suburb, like, you know for a fact that that cop will happily write you a ticket for anything. Like, you look at that cop the wrong way and that cop is writing you a ticket. So, like, we all know there's areas like that. Some people think you're being racist when you like narrow certain things down to certain areas. Like, oh, this doesn't really happen in this area. No, but it's true though. And don't get me wrong. Bad stuff happens everywhere, but like when it comes to certain things, like happening in certain areas compared to other areas, we all know. We all know as adults that there's just some areas that get hit more with certain things than other areas, and that's just common sense, and that's just being realistic as far as just like living in this world that we call America. That's just my opinion. Honestly, I don't know how you guys feel about the whole like hitting somebody or like crossing the street and just being like, oh well, you hit me, this is your fault. Like I've said in the beginning of this video, I feel like some people who get run over, they cause it to themselves. It's their fault. Like, especially when you hear stories on the news of the people crossing the street and it's an intersection and there's no place for a pedestrian to cross, but they're just like, wait, you know what? I got this. And then they do it and then they get run over and killed and people are like, oh my god, that's so sad. Like, why would someone run them over? What? And it's like I want to do like a pause. I'm like, wait, pause. You mean to tell me that you're mad at the driver for running them over? And it was an intersection where there was no place for a pedestrian to cross? And you're upset at them? For what? For driving their car? I don't understand. What's happening here? Like, I get so confused by that. I'm like, I get it. It's a tragedy. Somebody died. Boo-hoo. I feel like some people deserve to die. I mean, and a lot of people, when I say that, they look at me like, oh my god, you're so cynical. Why would you say that? Like, it's true. Like, it's very true. I feel like some people deserve to die. Like, they put themselves in those situations that is considered a life and death situation, and they deserve to die from that life and death situation. You know what I mean? It's not like we're in a horror movie where they're putting like fake blood on you and fake cuts and you know you're gonna be alive to talk about the movie. Like, we're talking about real life here. Some people put themselves in situations that if it was a situation that happened in a movie, you could get hit by a car and you're getting up like nothing's wrong. Like you're not even gonna have back pain. That blows my mind when they do that in movies. When they have someone hit the windshield and they hit the windshield so hard that you know the windshield should have shattered, but then they act like it's nothing and they just like, oh, my back, oh, it's whatever, bro. Like, I'm good. Like, what? No. Like, that, like, it's not even like remotely realistic, but it's always it's good to watch. Like, don't get me wrong, I like watching movies like that, But it's like, come on now. Like, let's be realistic. And I feel like a lot of that stuff that we see when it comes to, this is why I feel some people do the dumbest things that they do when it comes to cars and drivers. Is either one, now I have like multiple reasons why I feel like people do what they do. I'm gonna say one, because they don't have a car. The one thing I notice about people who don't have a car, they get mad that that person has a car, especially if you have a decent car. I'm somebody who has the range of what's considered a decent car. You know, it's a decent, cute car. It suits me. You know, it's perfect for my size. You know, thank God I'm little. You know, it's a decent car. So it's like you can see like, okay, and it's not like a hoopty anymore. You know, I'm past that life. You could see how someone could be a little envious of the car because of the car itself. It makes sense because they have to walk or they have to take the bus. Two, either they don't care. You know, they don't have a care in the world. Whether you hit them, you don't hit them, they're just like whatever. Or three, they saw something in a movie, and people do not believe this, but this is very true. They saw something in a movie, they saw somebody in a movie survive some crazy car accident, or something crazy that in real life, if it happened to you, you'd probably be dead. And they were like, oh, maybe I can do that. I can do that too. I'm Superman. I can so do that. Like, and then, you know, they went with it. And it's like, no, that. And then when they found out that it didn't work, some people are, how can I put this? Some people are not so lucky with that. Either they're dead, and hopefully they're with God, you know, so they can't really talk about how they felt about their experience with their dumbness. And some people, they make it out of it, but they're not the same like they were before they did that dumbness. That's just how I feel about the whole car situation with wanting to hit somebody. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I'm pretty sure if you've ever driven a car, if you've ever owned a car or whatever, just the fact that you have a driver's license and you can drive a car, you probably thought about running somebody over at least once in your life. And if you haven't, you're lying. And now I'm not saying, now let me correct myself before I end this video. And people are like, yo, what is wrong with her? I'm not saying that you're going to go in your car and be like, oh my God, let me see who I can hit today. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even saying that in the slightest. What I'm saying is there's always going to be a situation if you have a car and you drive and you have a driver's license where there's going to be a time where you're going to possibly think about running somebody over because they're going to do something stupid in front of you. That's all I mean by that. Before you think that I go in my car and I'm over here like, oh, little kids, 10 points. Adult, 20. Like, you know, like, I don't do that. Like, I wish I could, you know, because some people deserve it, like I said before. Like, some people don't agree with me with that. You know, some people deserve it. You know, you could comment down below. You can hit me up on social media. Let me know what you think. Do you think some people deserve to get possibly run over by a car if it was physically legal to run someone over with your car without getting possibly arrested for attempted manslaughter? Please let me know. Please let me know if you even remotely thought about this so you can, like, kind of, I don't need, like, the reassurance to make myself feel better, but so that way I could kind of prove, like, you know, I'm not the only one who has this thought process, because there's a lot of people who, like, would never admit to it, and then they make, you know, for example, myself or anybody else, whoever had that thought process, they make it seem like we're super crazy for even saying it. So please, like, let me prove my point that, you know, there are other people who have that same thought process. Oh, wow, it's like super hot. It's like burning up. But, you know, I'm not going to continue this video anymore. I said what I needed to say about, you know, the whole running someone over, you crossing the street and thinking about getting run over for, like, settlement money. You know, I'm going to just stop the video here. This is Bunny. Like I've always said, comment, like, share, and subscribe. Join the Bunny Gang, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.